Ethan had always considered himself a fortunate man, a successful architect with a loving wife, Amelia, and their 10-year-old son, Noah. His life was a picture of stability. For years, they have lived in a modest suburban home that Ethan had designed himself. Every corner of the house carried memories. Noah's first step in the living room, family's dinner in the cozy kitchen, and late night talk on the porch. Ethan often marveled at how smoothly life seems to flow. He had everything he ever wanted, but all of that was about to change. It started incautiously, as most disasters do. Noah had been sick for a few weeks, and routine visits to the doctor led to a series of tests. They initially thought it was a lingering cold, but when the results came back, the doctor mentioned something that caught Ethan's attention: a rare genetic disorder that neither Ethan nor Amelia carried in their family histories. "Are you sure?" Ethan asked the doctor. His brow furrowed in confusion. The doctor nodded solemnly. "It's rare, but these things can happen. However, if neither of you have a family history of this, it's unusual." Ethan pushed it out of his mind for the moment. After all, hormonalists in medicine were not unheard of. But as days passed, the nagging thoughts won't leave him. Eventually, he suggested to Amelia that they have genetic testing done, just to get some peace of mind. Amelia was hesitant at first, brushing off his concern, but Ethan's persistence wore her down. Weeks later, the results came back, and Ethan's world collapsed. Noah wasn't his biological son. Ethan sat in doctor's office, staring blankly at the paper that confirmed his deepest fear. He felt the blood drain from his eyes, his hands shaking as he gripped the armrest of the chair. The walls around him seemed to close in. He looked at Amelia, her eyes wide with panic, her lips trembling as if she wanted to say something, but didn't know where to start. "How is this possible?" Ethan's voice was barely a whisper. Amelia didn't answer immediately. She shifted uncomfortably, avoiding his gaze. Finally, she broke the silence. I don't know how to explain it." Ethan felt a sharp pang in his chest, like a dagger, twisting deeper with each passing second. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. Amelia, his partner for over a decade, was hiding something from him. Something that cut deeper than any betrayer could have imagined. "Tell me the truth," Ethan demanded. His voice was shaking with a mixture of anger and desperation. "Is Noah mine?" Tears welled up in Amelia's eyes, and in that moment, Ethan knew he didn't dare to say it. But the words that followed shattered whatever hope he had left. "No, he's not." There it was, the truth he had feared, but hadn't wanted to face. Amelia had cheated on him, and Noah, the boy Ethan had loved, raised and cherished as his own, was the result of that betrayal. "How long have you known?" Ethan asked, his voice cold, the hurt palpable in every syllable. Amelia sobbed quietly, her face buried in her hands. She answered, "Since he was born." Ethan stood up abruptly, passing the room, his mind racing. A flood of memories came rushing back. Noah's first was his first day of school, the time they had spent building a treehouse together. How could any of it be real now? Everything felt tainted, a lie that had been festering beneath the surface for years. "How could you do this to me?" he demanded, his voice raising in anger. "How could you lie to me for so long?" Amelia's sobs grew louder, But Ethan was too consumed by his own pain to care. The life they had built together suddenly felt like an illusion, a fragile structure that has crumbled at the slightest touch. "I didn't mean for it to happen," Amelia finally said between sobs. "It was a mistake, a one-time thing. I was going to tell you, but then I found out I was pregnant, and I was scared of losing you." Ethan stopped passing, turning to face her. His eyes were filled with a mixture of disbelief and betrayal. "So you thought you could just hide it for 10 years? Amelia nodded, wiping her tears away. "I was afraid of what it could do to us, to our family. I thought if I loved you enough, if I loved you enough, it wouldn't matter." Ethan's anger bubbled to the surface. "It matters, Amelia. It matters. Because you lied to me every single day. You let me believe he was my son. And now, I don't know what to believe anymore." Amelia stood, reaching out for him. But Ethan stepped back, shaking his head. The distance between them felt insurmountable. He couldn't look at her without feeling the weight of her betrayal. "I need time," Ethan said, his voice barely audible. "I can't do this right now." He left the house that night, driving aimlessly for hours. His mind was a whirlwind of emotions, anger, hurt, and confusion. He had no idea of what to do next. How could he go back home to a life that now felt so broken? How could he look at Noah, the boy he had loved as his own, knowing he wasn't his biological father? Weeks passed, and Ethan avoided Amelia and Noah as much as he could. He moved into a friend's guest house, drawing himself into work to escape the emotional turmoil. He hired a lawyer and filed for divorce, even though part of him hated the idea of leaving Noah. But the pain of Amelia's betrayal was too great to ignore. Amelia tried to make amends, apologizing over and over, begging Ethan to reconsider. She assured him that their love for Noah didn't have to change, that they could still be a family. But every time Ethan looked at her, he saw the years of deception, and he couldn't forgive her. The wound was too deep. Eventually, the divorce was finalized. Amelia got custody of Noah. Though Ethan was granted visitation rights, he still loved Noah. He couldn't just cut him off of his life completely. But the relationship between them had changed irreparably. Every time he looked at Noah, he remembered of the lies that had destroyed his marriage. For Noah's sake, Ethan tried to be present in his life, but it was never the same. The bond they once shared was made by the painful truth, a truth that Ethan could never fully escape. As time passed, the distance between them grew. Ethan remarried, eventually trying to rebuild his life, but the scars of betrayal remained. And though he had found a way to move on, a part of him would always ache for the life he thought he had, the life that had been taken from him the moment he found out the truth.